Hi everyone, I'm back doing another mini, and real quick, I just want to say something. In the past, in a couple of my videos, I say I'm kind of downplay what I'm doing, what I really saying I really like what I'm doing, and I just do it because I like it, and I tend to compare myself to other people, and I just think I need to stop doing that. The internet will compare me to everything else, so why should I do that to myself? It doesn't really matter what they think anyway, because I enjoy it. And I really want to show you guys how easy it is to get your miniatures and your board games painted into the table easily and quickly and enjoyably. So if you find this video fun, enjoyable, and educational, please, by all means, continue watching, continue to hit the like and subscribe and do all those fun things. But remember, most importantly, have fun. So I hope that you all having fun. So today I'm working on Jean Grey, also known as the Phoenix from X-Men United. Here we go with Jean. Get a little bit more light on her. There we go. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and get her taken care of and done up. So today we are going to be working with a couple of colors in my palette. So we're going to be using Pro Acryl. We're going to be starting with, I'm going to start with the magenta and then work my way up. So start with the magenta, and then we're going to go to the tan flesh, and then we'll finish off with warm flesh. So now that I have magenta on here, I'm going to go ahead and do the warm flesh. All right, let's take a look. Here I am applying the warm flesh. I thought the magenta would show through, but clearly the warm flesh was a stronger opacity than the magenta, so it didn't shine through. I could have thinned the paint, but I had already started applying, so I had not done so. But a little bit shows through, but not as much as I wanted. Jean Grey and Scott Summers' storyline is probably one of the most tragic storylines. Well, not tragic, but they had to endure a lot at the hands of Mr. Sinister, the Phoenix Force, so much that couple had to endure. But I really do like them. I think they're maybe Marvel's second premier couple, just because they add so much to the Marvel universe. Now I'm working on her uniform. This portion is her hood that comes partially over the back of her head and along her chin. It's part of like one giant unitard. Anyway. Here we are working with her yellow jumpsuit. I'm just applying thin layers. This is the one thing that I try to do, especially using yellow paint. It's really hard to get it to stand out and be robust against darker colors. That's why she stayed primarily white in the priming of her. So I continued here to apply a couple more thin layers. Now I'm working on her chest plate and her shoulder pads. The one thing about this figure was challenging was there wasn't a whole lot of detail to her character in particular. So I focused on trying to make the armor plating to stand out as much, and her mask as well. Here I'm working on the base. Now she seems to be floating on this psychic cloud, so I'm working on that. I used here Army Painter's Warlock Purple to start with as its base. I'll come back later and add some red and some other highlight colors to it to make it this psychic blob come alive, so to speak. But it was a little challenging. I envisioned what I wanted to do, and I tried it, and when something didn't look right, I tried something different. That's the big thing about it. As you do it and it doesn't come out the way you think it should, maybe attack it from a different angle, or more importantly, try something different. You might have to scrap that idea. You might have to come back later and try something different. But the main thing is that you have to try. You have to give it an attempt to know whether it'll work or not. Sometimes you have to follow all the way through, and you may find that at the end result you're happy with it. Now I'm here working on the eyes. This was a little challenging for me. I wanted them to stand out. I always have trouble getting them exactly the way I want it. But practice makes perfect. So I continue to make attempts, trying to bring her features to life. That is where the most detail I think is really for this Jean Grey character is in her facial expression. So, and her hair. That was the other thing that I worked on to kind of bring more depth to. As you can see, the base is where I really wanted it. I think it does bring to that character life, as you can see. But the eyes, I think, tell a story of determination with her character, and power, and really just showing that she is focused. That's the main thing about her. She being a telekinetic mutant, the focus and the ability to train her mind does come out in her expression. Here I'm doing the rocks. I'm doing a dry brush with a little ash gray, but you'll see in a little bit that I am going to go ahead and paint those white, because I am going to go ahead and make them a different color. I felt like the gray didn't really bring it out, so we're gonna go for more of a rocky brown, but I want to get this base down with this white paint and then paint it a little bit darker, a little sandier. You'll see. Here I'm bringing out some highlights in the cheekbone. I always struggle with this, so you'll see that I'll, instead of getting the blending just right, I kind of take the whole face to a lighter tone. For a character, I think it works best. She doesn't necessarily need a darker tone, but yeah, the highlights are not just pinpointed. It almost seems to be like the entire face, but it works out. I feel like it really works for her particular character. So for her hair, I went for a burnt red for the base, and then I came back with I believe I thinned out a pure red, so the dark will still show in the recesses, and then I could get the highlights with the pure red. So it was something I was experimenting with the darker color to sit in the recesses in certain areas. The pigment from the pure red does kind of cover up most of the dark areas. If I took it strand by strand instead of just kind of blanking in it, I could have probably gotten it just right. But you'll see once I'm done how this all works out. So. Here I am trying to fill in her roots, but I kind of like that where it does get dark and then it tends to get lighter. So I'll come back later and highlight some of the higher strands of her hair to really just give her more definition. But I was really pleased with how she turned out. Of course, I enjoy bringing these minis to the robust life with these colors and these paints. I truly appreciate the different paints that I use, with either be an army painter or Monument Hobbies or you know, so just definitely. So with you, I want to encourage you just to continue to paint your minis, continue to see what colors can unlock the beauty that's really in them, or the beauty that's in you. For the most part, enjoy and just see your mini come to life. Alright, we're done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really had fun painting it, and I'm glad you guys followed me along. So please enjoy whatever you do and do what you enjoy. Happy painting. See you next time. Later.